This conversation today takes us to Clarksdale, Mississippi, in the heart of the Delta, one of the most under resourced regions in the country.
Chelesa Presley is the executive director of the Diaper Bank of the Delta, founder of the Clarksdale Baby University, a certified community health worker, a lactation specialist, a doula, and a tireless public health advocate working in one of the poorest communities in America. Chelesa, we are so excited to talk to you today about, of all things, diapers. And I am so struck by what the work you're doing and your leadership there. I was reading in preparation for today, and it sounds like you're doing something like 5 jobs at once, all of them in Clarksdale, Mississippi, which, if folks don't know, sits in one of the most impoverished regions of the U.S. Tell me how you got here, who you are, and a little bit about the work you're doing.
So I got here because of my family. I come from a family who is big on family. I was raised by my grandmother because my mom transitioned when I was 13 years old. And because of her, she has always been a community person where she helped everyone, included me in that. I had to go and clean up houses for some of the community members, even though I didn't want to, but I did learn those skills. And I watched as my grandmother took care of others. She fed them, she gave them things in time of need. And from that, I became when I got married and I moved. I'm from the other side of the state. I'm from Columbus, Mississippi, which is near the Alabama state line. And once I got married, began to have children, and I began to remember some of those things that I was taught. I come from a breastfeeding family. So my grandmother came with each child I had, and she stayed 2 to 4 weeks with me and even laid down my garden for me. And during that time, she helped me with breastfeeding. And I began to breastfeed my children. That's how I got into the work of lactation. Being a breastfeeding African American mother in early 2000, I publicly breastfed. A lot of the mothers in the community hadn't seen that. I also did baby wearing, so I wore string and breastfed at the same time, and that was kind of a rarity for some of our community members. I breastfed at church, and I got lots of looks, and I was even bought this beautiful cover, so to make sure
Right,
that
right.
yes, yes, yes.
And you're also a doula as well, right?
So I became a doula after I started working with a local Healthy Start program, and with my breastfeeding working with just a natural transition into doula work.
Right.
When seeing my grandmother, she's always was a helping mothers during their
Right.
delivery and things.
And now, Shalisa, the diaper piece of it, though, when people talk about childhood poverty, so few people think even remotely about diapers, how expensive they are, and that this is really a serious child poverty issue. How did you realize that? I know that individually you started helping people out before you became, a nonprofit and on the board of the network and all.
Mhm.
So, well, the diaper bank actually came out of my community health work. As a community health worker, I was doing home visits, and one of the things that parents always had a need for was diapers. And there was no local organization in our community that helped families on a consistent basis. The diaper bank came out of seeing the need as I did one-on-one home visits, and actually families coming to me asking for diapers because they seen the work that I was doing.
For folks, just to really brass tacks it, you provide people who need diapers. So it is an essential thing. If folks are thinking about it, you can't really go out in your day and be with your family if you don't have this core need. And what I often think about is like, if the baby doesn't have a diaper, what is usually the mother not taking care of for herself? It's such a clear indicator, but your work has gone beyond just diapers. You've given out hundreds of thousands of diapers across the Delta. You are now helping people get GEDs, driver's licenses, escaping domestic violence, and getting out of sleeping in their cars. And that's what I meant earlier about 5 jobs. This is not just a diaper bank, which in and of itself is pretty remarkable. It's a community lifeline. And I sort of get this in the stories you told so far, but how did it become that? How did you go from diapers to all of these other services and connections you're making for the community? And if you don't mind telling me, what's your grandmother's name? Because I want to remember that name.
Her name was Ella Mae Johnson,
Of
and
course
she
it was.
just
I love it.
transitioned in 2024 at 91 years old.
Wow.
And yes, beautiful
That's
spirit.
great.
Yes. Um, it's amazing because when we started the diaper bank in 2015, that was the idea when it started. And we opened our doors in 2016. We had no idea that we would be doing all this. Our mission at that time was just to give out diapers. And once we opened our doors, our facility, because we had a standalone storefront, became a respite area where parents came and they exhale. It was a safe space. And that was what led to our work in so many other areas because when they came and they exhaled, they began to share their truth. It wasn't that we were giving out more than just diapers. We were giving out hope and a place to release.
And well, Shalisa, the whole idea that you refer to it as a bank, this is a major system, a diaper bank. Talk to us about how the bank works.
So the bank part is we not only supply diapers just to individuals on a one-on-one basis, but we also work with partners. So we have partner agencies that can come to us and get diapers for their participants or their communities. We also do community events. We go out, we have a program called Diaper Bank on the Move, where we go out and in the past year, we have driven over 31,000 miles throughout the Delta region in the whole state of Mississippi. We also provide diapers in the mail. So as a bank, we are providing all types of service, just like your regular bank have saving and checking and financial,
Right.
and we're providing information on parenting, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and linkage to different organizations such as mental health, food, uh, everything.
Fantastic. Just a note that apparently a baby can go through, is it 2,500 diapers? Is that the number that we're looking at? That many diapers?
So it's 8 to 12 diapers a day. So you multiply that time 365. Yes.
Well, right. Amazing. Amazing. So, I mean, to understand now, you've also been working on removing the sales tax, which seems like totally insane that there is a sales tax on a diaper.
We do have a 7% sales tax in the state of Mississippi, a luxury tax on a basic necessity that all babies, all humans need, no matter when you was born, you had some type of covering. And we're trying to get that tax off of that basic necessity. And what that's costing families on an average over a extra $100 a month, a year, that they could be using toward RIPT or some other type
Now,
of basic necessity.
the op-ed you wrote around how they're phasing out the sales tax on firearms.
Yes.
And if we can do that, regardless of what you think, if you can do that, it seems like there's space maybe in our heart for also doing that to support babies. Now, you also, in your spare time, founded Clarksdale Baby University.
Well, I want
And,
to correct you on that.
oh,
I
please.
did, yes, I did not find or started. It was actually started by Francesca Ref and Desta Ref, but in 2014.
And you're the
But
We want to give you
instructor.
credit for everything, Shalisa,
now,
So
so
impressed.
but
I'm
I
so
took
impressed.
over as the director in 2018.
And you're the sole instructor right now.
Yes.
What goes on in that classroom?
So it's an 8-week intensive parenting class, and we work with families and I'd start the class and tell them I'm not the expert, but we're here to learn together, and we're just trying to help our families with postpartum issues, school readiness for their children, and just basic skills on parenting things and talking about things that, they normally don't hear, actual evidence-based information for parenting because no baby comes with a manual.
No, they
So
do.
we just trying to, yes.
And
And
perhaps they should.
yes.
I'm gonna have a conversation with God after this podcast.
Incredible. Well, it's no surprise then, Chelesa, that the national network, Diaper Network, wanted you on their board. So talk to us about being a part of that nationwide organization dealing with diaper supply.
Well, it has been an honor to be selected and to be a part of this board. I have seen the growth of the National Diaper Bank Network is since I've been on the board. I remember when we first started the diaper bank, we thought we was doing it the diaper bank here in Mississippi. We thought we were just doing something new, and come to find out, it was a national movement. And we became a member in 2016. And when the diaper bank was about 5 years, National Diaper Bank was about 5 years old, and I became on the board 3 years later. And it has been a wonderful access for Mississippi, for even me myself to see what's going on in the national level, to bring it back to Mississippi and to provide some changes and empower our community.
Keep on keeping on, because I also jumped out at me when I was reading a little bit about you around the work you're doing on It's That Time, Girl, if I could say that any more boringly. But that's a phrase I use all the time, just so we're all crystal clear. But it has a different meaning for you. Talk about what that work is.
So that's around period poverty, and it is Period Poverty Awareness Week this week. And it's trying to make sure that our menstruating persons, women's and girls, that they have the products that they need. Not only the products, but also the education.
Right.
Accuracy. So we're working on this really hard on education, because one of the things I found out, and I talk about my grandmother a lot of parents don't provide information to their daughters because
Right.
they themselves didn't even know. They don't know what's going on in the process of how their body is menstruating. And we even go into menopause, which I'm in the stage of premenopause right now, and letting minstrels know that it's normal to have a cycle. It's nothing we should be ashamed of. It shouldn't be taboo. And it's really nothing we should hide. We should talk about it, because a lot of our people are suffering in silence.
Right.
Because they are afraid to talk about their pains, their emotions, their lack of access, and that the products that they're using is not the right one for them.
Yeah.
So I educate them on all the different type products, because we're all different, unique human beings, and we can't all use the same thing.
I saw my mom suffer with this. When we were homeless, my mom, when she was going through her period, we would have to use publicly available paper towel and napkins, and just a lack of dignity for women in poverty I saw firsthand with my mom and later my sister. So when I read that, I sent it to my sister, Jessica, who's a remarkable woman, because I think work like that is really about letting that person achieve fully what they can by just taking care of the basics. And we can be part of that. I love that component of your work. Thank you so much.
Well, Chelesa Presley, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I mean, the list is absolutely incredible. And we'll make sure that on our website and in the podcast, we give a link for people to support all of the many things that you're doing in Mississippi.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I do invite y'all to come out one day.
All right. I told you my friend Dorothy Abbott is coming down. She lives in Water Valley. She said, I'm going right over there and seeing them. So you can expect Dorothy there anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You can also find more information about our guests, and we have show notes and all of that, and about the podcast and the other events. And volunteering that we're doing on our website, theinvisibleamericans.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you the next time.